please welcome Phaedra Ellis-Lamkins and Bob King. Please welcome them warmly.
As president of United Auto Workers, Bob King is known for his activism and passionate beliefs in social and economic justice. He is a visionary and innovative leader for an industry that desperately needs both.
Labor and environmental leaders need to work hand in hand, and that's why I'm very proud to share the stage today with Phaedra Ellis-Lamkins, the Chief Executive Officer for Green for All, one of the country's leading advocates for a clean energy economy, and is redefining the face of environmentalism in the United States. Phaedra?
Thank you, Bob. You know, I stand here today on the shoulders of my Nana. 2 years ago, I stood with my Nana on this mall. Through tears, she watched as the first Black president was sworn in. The power of that day didn't stem from race. It flowed from its bold acknowledgement that this country belongs to every citizen. That January day meant it was possible for our children to be anything they wanted to be. That day meant that there were no longer two American dreams. For some people, the thought, it's a scary thought, the fear that if opportunities exist for others, it means that opportunities don't exist for yourself. They'd rather have us all in darkness than have us all see the light. You see, it used to be that those who opposed us made us feel as though we'd be fumbling alone in a darkened room, in an unfamiliar environment, in our own country. We were made to feel alone and isolated. Every once in a while, they pick a few of us to share their light, and they take pictures and show the rest of us that their American dream might someday be ours. But it almost never was. Today, we say that no one should feel that they're in the dark. Today, once again, feels like we're seeing the lights turned on. Today, no longer will we fumble alone in the darkness. Today, before this crowd, I'm blinded. Are you blinded by the amazing spirit and will of the people today?
Yay.
You know, that's pretty depressing, I have to say, as someone who gets talked about a lot. Are you ready to stand and say, this is our country?
Yes.
Are you ready to say that patriotism belongs to those who love the country?
Yes.
That loving the country is about recognizing that people deserve love, regardless of who they love, where they're from, where they were born, that this is the vision for the country that we believe in. And I want to say to you, I'm thrilled to be here with President Bob King, but this is what this country will think about. After the serious, brutal blows that this country has taken over the past 5 years, we have two choices. We can give up, or we can get up. Are you ready to get up?
Yes.
Because giving up is not our option. But by our presence here today, we say that we are ready to get back on our feet, that we'll extend a hand to whoever around us needs help rising. The last time this country faced a crisis, an economic crisis, the Great Depression, it didn't destroy us, but it left us stronger. And that's the vision that Bob and I share. I know that what the divisive darkness feels like. I know what it feels like to not feel at home in your own country. But as we've watched some of our fellow citizens with roots in this country, no deeper than mine or yours, judge us without knowing us. Someone said to me, "You're not a real patriot because you believe everyone should get to come to this country. You believe workers have rights. You believe the environment should be protected." But what we're here to say is that this is our country. This is our experience. This is our America. And no longer will we allow anyone to say that you are less of an American because of the color of your skin, the state you were born in, or the work you do. No longer standing in the light of this brilliant crowd that is a true portrait of America will we allow anyone to say what an American family is or isn't. Because if you undermine my patriotism, diminish my American story, you diminish the American story of millions of others. Of my Nana who stood on this mall and cried, my grandfather and my mother. And our crowd today, people said, what are you doing? What we're doing is to say that we're standing up to not allow any American story to be diminished. We're here to stand today with this crowd and say proudly, I am the face of America as much as you are the face of America. And from this moment onward, we will never again accept anyone telling us differently.
Yay.
Good job.
All right, thanks, Phaedra. Yay. What Phaedra embodies for me is the hope and the optimism that we have to have. Those that want to divide us want us to believe that we cannot win. We cannot accept that. We've got to have the hope that Phaedra's got, the hope that you have for being here today. This nation is at a crossroads. There are two profoundly different visions before us, two radically different dreams for what is America. One vision takes us down the dark path of division by race, division by religion, division by nationality, division by gender, division by age. The voices of division exploit people's fear by labeling and trying to pit one person against another, by singling out as somehow other, either women or Latinos or African Americans or Muslims or immigrants or gays or seniors. We don't believe that. We believe in all of humanity. The voices of division obstruct government efforts to give financial support to the unemployed and the sick. The voices of division obstruct government efforts to fully fund quality education. They seek to damn our children to poverty because they don't have an education. The voices of division obstruct efforts for fair rules to hold bankers and Wall Street executives accountable. The voices of division obstruct efforts to protect retirees' standard of living. The voices of division try to undermine Social Security, which keeps millions of seniors out of poverty. But by contrast, those marching here today believe in a vision that leads us on a path of community, a path of compassion, a path of common humanity. We believe in a vision of hope and optimism.
If you believe that it is the role of a democratic government to provide a safety net for people who are suffering, say, I believe.
I believe. If you believe that the needs of people should become before the profits of corporations, say, I believe.
If you believe that all workers around the world should have the right to organize unions, say, I believe.
I believe. If you believe that all people are entitled to decent living conditions, full health care, and quality education, say, I believe.
If you believe that poverty and environmental destruction must end, say, I believe.
I believe. If you believe we should stop funding wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and instead fund our schools, fund the rebuilding of our infrastructures, fund programs for education and jobs for our veterans, fund investments in green technology and green jobs, say, I believe.
I believe. If you believe that war is not the solution to the world's problems, say, I believe.
I believe. If you believe in a common humanity that embraces people of all religions, all nationalities, all ethnicities, say, I believe.
I believe. 2 years ago on these steps, we were energized by hope. President Barack Obama said that we are the change that we have been waiting for. He didn't say that he was the change that he had been waiting for. He said, we are the change. If you believe we are the change, say, I believe.
I believe. Both Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King implored us to be the change, we want to see in the world.
Will you commit today to work unceasingly to win justice and fairness for all?
Please say, I do.
I do.
Thank you